A letter to the editor recently published stating that the FOP sets the record straight on endorsement written by Kevin Groves turns out to be untrue. According to Terry Newman, Sr., Secretary for Order of Police, Forest Rose Lodge No. 50, the recent article from Kevin Groves is fallacious for the most part. Regardless of what purpose Haughton County Sheriff Lanny North, Chief Deputy Valkenburg, and Detective Ed Downs had, is irregardless. As members, they have the right to attend each meeting of the Forest Rose Lodge No. 50. According to Newman, Groves showed up that night for the meeting, but left when he saw Sheriff North, Valkenburg, and Downs in attendance. Fraternal Order of Police Lodge No. 50 is a tri-county lodge serving Fairfield, Hocking, and Perry counties. Any candidate running for political office in these three counties could have approached the lodge at a regular meeting and asked the members for their endorsement. Their requests are then turned over to the Political Action Committee to investigate and present a committee recommendation. In this case, Kyle Henderson, candidate for Haughton County Prosecutor, and Dr. Carl Basil, candidate for the Haughton County Coroner, were the only two candidates requesting the FOP Forest Rose Lodge 50 endorsement. Newman said Mr. Groves rarely attended any of the regular meetings since being relieved as a deputy from the Haughton County Sheriff's Office. If he does show up, he doesn't stay for the meetings and has no idea what is really going on. In the letter, Groves said, "We think Dr. Cummin has done a very good job, and although the conflict with the Haughton County Sheriff's Office is apparent, we feel that he would be the best qualified and most experienced candidate, while Mr. Fickle, an experienced attorney, would bring some balance back to the judicial system that in recent years appears to be sidetracked by personal vendetta or personal interests. We, as Mr. Groves stated, meaning members of the FOP Lodge No. 50, did not say anything to the sort," said Newman, "and this is another fallacy by Mr. Groves and whoever else is in it with him. Mr. Groves was completely out of order here. He does not have the right to make this kind of statement and is not an officer of the lodge or authorized to make any statements on behalf of the lodge," stated Newman. Newman, a 47-year member to the lodge, reiterated the endorsements were for Kyle Henderson, not Ben Fickle, and for Dr. Carl Basil, not Dr. David Cummin. Sam FM spoke to Jared Howe, president of the FOP Forest Lodge 50, who concurred Mr. Groves was not representing their organization for their opinion, but perhaps his own, and that they did follow their own procedures and bylaws in setting forth the endorsement for Dr. Carl Basil and Kyle Henderson. Here's what Howe had to say.
Well, we had a meeting scheduled, and due to our fair in Lancaster, there wasn't enough there to conduct a meeting, so we had a special meeting. At that point, the committee brought their recommendations, which were voted upon and passed.
Anyone could have applied for an endorsement from your organization, is that correct?
Correct. The committee's the ones who got those recommendations or those letters.
Explain to me what the committee is.
Members who are in good standing who have been appointed to that committee, and then they take our request, I guess you could say, and then go over them and then make their recommendations.
And what's the name of the committee?
The Political Action Committee.
So it was the Political Action Committee who received the request for the endorsements. They processed those requests and then brought before the general membership for approval? Is that how it works?
Yeah, they make their recommendations at the meeting, and then we vote on either to accept the recommendation or go differently.
Okay.
You can either endorse the recommendation or the request, deny the request, or no stance, basically.
But in this case, the recommendation was to endorse the request from Mr. Henderson and Dr. Basil.
Correct.
Anything else that you think would be important for people to know about your organization?
Our endorsement was the letter that was submitted, which was signed by myself, so...
Okay, so those are your official endorsements, the two that have been signed. Mr. Groves was not accurate when he was representing your organization?
Correct.
This has been Teresa Salazone reporting for 98.3 Sam FM.